be there when you're down, when you're losing your crown, till the afterglow, the afterglow. Fading away, you look so great when you gotta shine. One more part of you is gone now, as you keep smiling at the crowd. Pressure is your best enemy, spotlights show what they wanna see. Sometimes it feels like you're under attack, you just can't break free. I'll be there when you're down, when you're losing your crown, till the afterglow, the afterglow. I'll be there when you fall, when you're losing it all. It all sounded like a dream. Remember how you kept on laughing, now you're trapped in your own skin. The anxiety growing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live right here in Smackdown, I should say, is live in Glasgow, Scotland. We've got Bayley making her way to the ring. I am Chris Best. I am the host of the Smackdown Security Detail. OMD shall be here in just a short little bit. Right now, as I said, Bayley's on her way to the ring, and she's got Naomi accompanying her. We've got Naomi in singles action. She's going to be squaring off against Chelsea Green with Piper Niven in her corner. This is going to be obviously something to further what's going to happen tomorrow at Clash at the Castle between Bayley and Piper Niven. And right now, I'm looking at this setup that they've got. It's the setup for the arena in Glasgow, and it is looking pretty fantastic right now. I'm going to turn my TV down. Didn't realize how loud it was. All right. Now we got Piper Niven and Chelsea Green making their way to the ring. This is going to be intriguing. I'm very interested to see how Naomi fits into this whole thing with Bayley, Chelsea Green, and Piper Niven. Because right now it does feel like really feel like that Naomi is in some sort of a holding pattern right now, and they're just waiting for the right moment to give her something juicy, I suppose you can say. Chelsea Green definitely expressing some confidence on behalf of Piper Niven, having just said that regardless of what happens tonight, Piper Niven is walking away with the women's championship tomorrow. Just taking a look at Naomi's tights here, she's kind of channeling like a Rainbow Bright kind of look here. And I might be aging myself with that. Rainbow Bright, popular 80s female 80s cartoon for directed at little girls and whatnot. Now, guys, people in the chat, tell me what you think. Who do you think is going to take this one? You got Naomi or Chelsea Green to take this one? Naomi displaying that incredible athleticism of hers. Oh, just slapping the taste out of Chelsea Green's mouth there. All right, Naomi, what are you doing? Oh, split-legged moonsault. Or, I mean, a split-legged leg drop. All right, just Chelsea Green really taking it to Naomi. Kind of like that she's actually taking advantage of what's going on in the match. It feels like it's rare that you see that right now as we go to commercial break here. Just double checking on OMD's whereabouts. And clearing away some of my phone notifications. I get buried in those a lot. Another programming note, as per usual. Usually we do a PLE patrol whenever it is a PLE weekend, and this is a PLE weekend. I do believe our buddy Chris Parrish is doing a live watch along, so you may want to check in on his socials and follow him to find out when if that will be. It'll be tomorrow 2 p.m. Eastern for us here. But usually the PLE patrol will not be happening. The PLE patrol will not be happening because OMD will be doing his shoot job and I will be working the CWE. Sorry, picking up my cat. Hockey Central signing season. That is the free agency, if I'm not mistaken, maybe starting July 1st. Interesting. We are really not that far off from that. And look, it's our buddy, it's our pal Scott Stanford Which events are you shilling right now, Scott? Oh, talking about SmackDown, which is coming to Edmonton, which, as I mentioned, our buddy Chris Parrish will be at that show. Monday Night Raw, just a couple of days later, will be in Calgary. September 6th for SmackDown. Calgary will be Raw September 9th. Plus, we've got Money in the Bank coming up. That's going to be taking place in Toronto. There's a Raw coming to Ottawa, Ontario as well. We're back to the action here. As Naomi just got out of a side headlock or sleeper hold, crossbody off the ropes as well. I don't know what Chelsea was looking to do there. Sorry, my cat's getting tangled up in these wires here that I've got. Yeah. I've got the theme song to our to our show stuck in our head. Monday, next Friday, SmackDown in Chicago, Illinois. Wonder if we get a CM Punk showing up there. Raw this coming Monday will be in Corpus Christi, Texas. I can't even remember the matches that are actually announced for that show. But right now we've got Naomi. I almost called her Trinity. We got Naomi climbing up to that top rope. I totally missed what she did because I thought I heard my phone ding. 2 count only. Chelsea able to kick out of that. It was just a simple crossbody she went for. Chelsea getting frustrated right now. She can't figure out what it's going to take down Naomi. But I think I know. And she's standing right at ringside, and that is Piper Niven. However, on Naomi's side, she's got Bayley there. So it's a little bit of an X factor that cancels each other out to a certain degree. And speaking of that X factor, Chelsea just tried to go for the 2 count, but Bayley got up on that apron, shoved her out of the way. Now Bayley and Piper are getting into it at ringside, arguing, not fighting. And Naomi just rolled up Chelsea Green and got the win. Not exactly sure why Piper had her back turned to the match, though. So right now we're looking at we got an interview with Apollo Crews going on. Oh, that's right. He got jumped by Umberto and Angel there. Baron Corbin in the back right now talking to Nick Aldis. Bulkster, brother, how are you doing? Glad to see you on the show, brother. How are you doing tonight, my friend? And we got the one, the only Leeds in the crowd and the audience tonight. Leeds, how are you doing tonight? Glad to have you here. Bulkster OMD is at his shoot job. I'm waiting on him to come in on the show. He's going to be doing a run in. Later tonight, though, we've got up next, Grayson Waller, the Grayson Waller Effect coming up next with DIY. Leeds coming in to say he managed to miss this earlier. That's right. Yeah, that's right. The SmackDown is taped because of the fact that it is in Scotland. Bulks are saying he's planning on doing a simulation for the Clash at the Castle after SmackDown. Sorry, I was checking over my phone notifications there. Right now, we're looking at a video package of Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, the current women's tag team title holders, and they will be defending their tag team championships against Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark and Alba Fire and Isla Dawn in a triple threat match at tomorrow's Clash at the Castle. Still feels very surreal to me seeing Jade in a WWE ring. Oh, geez. I saw a QR code. The reckoning is inevitable, it says. Gives the countdown of 3 days. Well, it takes us to the countdown takes us to 8 p.m. Monday night, which is obviously the Raw Patrol. And there's the actual QR code. I'm going to pull out my trusty old phone and get an image of it. Okay, got that down. And I'm going to fast forward through this. I to go back to the live. Of course, we got DIY in the ring and Grayson Waller and Austin Theory at their respective tables. DIY just throwing everything around right now. Okay, so the QR code just brings us to the countdown again. As you can see right here on my phone. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to watch the promo here and trying to listen to it. Johnny Gargano bringing up the history between him and Austin Theory. And Grayson with the cheap shot. Now everybody's fighting in the ring. Now looking at action from the six-man tag match, as last week we saw the Bloodline just totally dismantle the Street Profits and Kevin Owens last week. All right, we've got OMD on the clock as he had just messaged me. He's going to be hoping to be on within 15 minutes. Santos Escobar coming down to the ring with alongside Umberto and Angel. And I'm not calling him Berto. He's Umberto to me. I'm sorry. UFC Fight Night tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern. I don't even know if I'm going to be home around that time to watch that show. And for my snack of choice tonight, guys, once again, it's Pokemon cookies. So tell me, guys, are you guys looking forward to the PLE this weekend? Oh, We're looking at a promotion for Fanatics Fest right now. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Jey Uso in New York City. We'll be making an appearance there. Another QR thing. Is it I'm going to rewind. I'm going to see if it's a different one. Trying to get this one. Holy Christ, trying to get this thing. Bulkster is looking forward to the PLE this weekend. Bulkster, why don't you let me, what match are you looking forward to seeing this weekend? We have ourselves a run-in. Brother, why are you so...
That's the joy of doing sales. I get a customer at 20 to 8 when we close at 8, and I didn't get them out of there until 25 after.
Oh, I know that feeling oh too well. Oh, that hurts.
And they were still undecided.
Oh, that's even worse. That's even worse.
So,
we got 2 QR codes, so I'm trying to get the second one right now.
okay.
Tonight. Did you happen to catch anything that happened at the beginning of SmackDown?
I have not.
Do you want to be spoiled on what happened at that?
I do not.
Okay.
I've seen bits and pieces throughout the day. I'm at, Baron Corbin coming out to rescue Apollo.
What? Because I'm still trying to get the QR code, so it sounds a little weird to me that you said Baron Corbin is rescuing Apollo.
Yes. Baron Corbin just came out and beat up Angel and Humberto.
Okay, so we're getting a babyface Baron Corbin.
Yes, we are.
All right.
That I was aware of, and I heard that at some point tonight.
No spoilers, because I didn't do anything as far as spoilers go. Okay, so I want to see something about this QR code. Okay, so it's just as I thought. The second and the first QR code are both the same as the one that showed up on Monday. It's the countdown.
Okay.
So what they're doing is hammering home that something gigantic is happening on Raw.
Yes.
Because I did the math, and the countdown takes us right to Monday at 8 p.m.
Interesting.
No, I've been down your road with people coming in late, especially at Walmart. You know how I'm sure you shopped late at Walmart a couple of times, and you hear that announcement at about 9:45, right? For everybody who's doing their shopping to go to the counter. They were closing up at 10. 9:55, I always would see a customer walking in.
Yep.
9:55 when I'm about to close my till, and then I see somebody coming in with about $200 in groceries to buy.
Yep. Well, the sad thing is that this was the second time today that these people were in. And, I don't want to get into too much information because I don't know the people, but it was an aunt and her nephew or her niece, but the aunt is moving into a retirement home and is still recovering from a stroke. So there was frustration starting to build up on both their parts. So I had to try and diffuse the situation as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Okay, I do understand that situation a little bit more. Bulkster saying hello to you.
Good evening, Bulkster.
So the stuff we've already had on the show, I'm not going to give you winners. We already had Naomi and Chelsea Green.
Okay.
We already had the Waller Effect, the Grayson Waller Effect with DIY.
Okay.
But during the second QR code flash up, we had an encounter between Naomi, Bayley, and Blair Davenport.
Interesting. So I'm not going to complain because, today was already an 11-hour day. So I just added an extra half hour onto it. So
yeah, I was going to say, you know what, you got to look at this because this is how I always looked at it. And I never told my managers this. Extra money in your pocket.
Yep.
Because even when I rang up those customers at 10 o'clock and I had the $200 to $300 in groceries, that 10 o'clock would suddenly become like if it was a 6-hour shift or a 7-hour shift from at Walmart, which was the 3 to 10s. I hated those, but sometimes I hated them. Sometimes I liked them.
Yep.
They would pay me from 3 to 11 instead.
Right.
So even if I wrapped up at 10:05, they would just be like, okay, we're just going to pay you till.
Yep.
As if you were here till 11 o'clock.
Yep.
That was the beauty of working at Walmart.
Yeah.
I know.
For us, it's
Sorry.
once that quarter hour hits, we
Yeah.
automatically bump up that next 15 minutes. So at 8:15, I was already paid till 8:30.
Right.
So
That's the beauty of working at a Canadian Walmart versus an American Walmart. Because I know I've heard terrible things about certain American Walmarts and how the work is.
right.
Now we got. I'm seeing Baron Corbin just standing ringside to Apollo Crews. I'm curious about this now.
Me too, but we started to see that towards the end of his NXT run as part of the Wolf Dogs.
Yeah, but I still painted Baron Corbin as a heel in that light for some reason.
I get exactly where you're coming from, and I'm probably guilty of the same thing, but it was like,
Because
I can get behind this.
Braun Breaker was a heel too when
But then,
when they first teamed up.
yeah, and then all of a sudden they slowly transitioned into being baby faces.
Mm-hmm.
So I still had them both painted as heels, and now, you're getting this, I guess, double turn between Raw and SmackDown with Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin.
It's going to be a busy weekend of wrestling for me. I mean, right now we've got SmackDown, and tomorrow I've got CWE. Sunday, I'm doing more recordings for 2K24's My Rise.
Right.
Oh, and the PLEs tomorrow afternoon.
Yes.
So I'm going to try.
I will be at work.
Yeah, I'm going to try and catch what I can before Carl comes to pick me up.
Right.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. That didn't work out too well for Angel and Umberto. Oh, okay. I just got the finish.
Wait a minute. Are you saying I'm ahead of you tonight?
Did you just
I've had the
get the finish,
finish for a
brother?
while. I've got Corey Graves and Wade Barrett starting to go through about the start time for tomorrow.
Oh, so we're on par for once.
We are.
No, I was because what I was saying is that didn't work out too well for Umberto and Angel was when they tried to jump Baron Corbin and Corbin just threw them off to the side.
Yeah, well, that's after he threw them, like when he came out at the start of the match and he threw them out into the crowd.
Yeah.
And then this. So
What do you
I'm
make of
intrigued, and I'm okay with, I can get behind Baron Corbin as a babyface.
I think so too, because there was a part of me that when he was doing that not the happy Corbin gimmick, but when he was broke Baron Corbin,
Right?
I kind of started gaining some sympathy for him at that time.
Right?
I really wish that AJ was wearing a salmon jacket for this.
Yeah. So we are getting the recap of AJ and Cody from last week.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I'm still enthralled by this promo because this was probably my favorite promo out of all the promos from last week. There was a lot of anger on Cody's side, and usually we don't get anger on Cody's side.
Right? And let's not forget, we've got a massive announcement coming from WWE and Pro Wrestling Noah Sunday morning.
Yeah. That's coming this Sunday, eh? So I've got a... Oh, geez. This is going to be a busy week of wrestling for me, for us at least, especially on the Turnbuckle Talk side, because you know that we're going to want to go over what happened at CWE, what happened at the PLE, what the announcement was, and Monday night, whatever this Bray Wyatt situation is.
Right.
I think I just covered all our story for Tuesday right there.
And then let's not forget the new wrestling company coming to Sportsnet in the new year.
Yeah, AEW has a deal possibly with Sportsnet.
Yes. And WWE Robot Wars coming to Peacock.
I hate to burst your bubble, but I read that. That's not happening. I took a look into that, and all I got was information about when Mick Foley hosted Robot Wars.
Okay.
That would be interesting, though. I wouldn't mind Robot Wars. Well, actually, I think Robot Wars is still actually around. I turn on my phone, and dude, I still got the countdown going on my phone.
Nice.
I totally forgot to close it off. But I was looking at the upcoming shows for next week. We got Raw and Corpus Christi, but SmackDown next week going to be in Chicago. Do we see a CM Punk show up?
I absolutely think we do.
Because we need to start. If Punk is okay to go, we need to start getting his feud with Drew McIntyre off the ground.
Yep.
I mean, it already sort of is off the ground, but we just need to get it. We need to start ramping it up a little bit.
Well, he is very, very hated in Scotland, but he is there. He has been seen.
So I heard. I don't even know why I'm yawning. I'm not even really tired. All I did today was go across the street to the laundromat to wash some clothes because...
You know what? It's funny because usually on my regular shifts, I'm like exhausted by the time I get home.
Yeah.
Today, after working an 11.5-hour shift, I'm good to go. We have Andrade in the crowd.
Yeah, the speed champion in the crowd.
And then Cedric Alexander and Ashante the Adonis sitting together, pretty deadly.
How long is it? Okay. How the hell long has it been since we saw Alexander and Ashante the Adonis since on TV?
Other than the
pretty deadly, huh? Pretty deadly. How long has it been since we've seen them on TV?
Right. Well, other than the Alexander and Ashante vignettes, I've never seen them.
I mean, like the last time they were actually on TV was when they decided to form a tag team, and that was right smack dab in the middle of everything WrestleMania. Oh, we got Cody Rhodes making his way out to the ring right now. Cody looking dapper as always.
Yes. I do have to ask, and I'm basing this and jumping the gun maybe by a day. But presuming Drew comes out on top tomorrow, why is it that there is a part of me that wants to see Cody and Drew as joint champions team up to go after the tag belts and reunite the Dashing Ones?
I completely forgot that they were a tag team at one point. I have to ask though, after tomorrow afternoon, I should say, because it's going to be Cody going over AJ. That's just my prediction.
Right.
Where do you go with Cody next? Do you move him on to not Gunther? Yeah, who does he go to next?
That is going to be
Do we move him to Solo? Is Solo ready for him yet? Do you think?
I don't think Solo's ready, but I'm going to put a name out there that is somebody that probably deserves a shot, somebody that I believe deserves a run, and that would be Kevin Owens. Or do you move him on to Randy for SummerSlam?
Right, because SummerSlam or Money in the Bank is in Toronto, and the typical thing they do, as we're seeing tomorrow at Clash at the Castle, for international PLEs, whichever country you're in, whoever your top country man is usually the one that's in the main event. So SmackDown, your top guy is Kevin Owens.
Yep. And then do you move on to Randy for SummerSlam?
I think you do. Because everybody else from Cleveland, and I'm going to use the analogy I just used again, everybody else from Cleveland is going to be involved in something else. Because if the Wyatt Six thing is happening and Alexa Bliss is a part of that, she's going to be in that angle. The Miz and R-Truth, if they still have the tag belts, are probably going to be defending their tag titles at that show.
Oh, Logan
Paul, if he still has the U.S. championship, will more than likely be defending against LA Knight, or maybe challenging LA Knight, depending on how that goes.
Right. Oh, hang on one moment. I am getting a video call.
Oh, no. The crowd is singing something for Cody. Okay, here comes the OC right now, AJ Styles and the Good Brothers. They're measuring the decibels. This is definitely a play off of Backlash when they had to measure the when they measured the decibels of the arena, and everybody in Paris, or everybody who was at that stadium, got a warning that they were breaking the decibel levels. And once again, every time AJ tries to speak, man, they go back. The crowd goes back to singing this this song about uh, using Cody Rhodes' name. Just realized I was talking here and I went on a little bit of a diatribe, but no, I was saying that this is a very emotional interview here or promo here. Both men laying claim as to why they should be the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion.
Sorry about that. That was my mini-me calling.
Oh, Shano. Good old Axel. Shane Rotten.
Shane Axel had to call.
We got ourselves a really emotional promo out of AJ and Cody here. I don't know if you heard any of it.
I've heard little bits.
Well, AJ basically put the blame on Cody for walking out on the WWE.
Okay.
But Cody was like, I know that I walked away from companies, but I walked away for reasons. He said, I walked away from the WWE for my own personal reason. I walked away from ROH, New Japan, he mentions in name. And then he said, I went to go form a company with some of my best friends, and I walked away from that. Obviously right. Referencing AEW.
Yes.
And was that the Street Profits that just got taken down? Yeah, it was the Street Profits that just got taken down by Tama and Tonga.
Okay.
Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, I should say.
Yes.
And KO is trying to
okay, as well, the WWE have filed a new trademark for Tala Tonga.
Okay.
Which is leading to more and more speculation for Hikuleo. As well, it's funny because I've also seen a picture now that has one Jacob Fatu with the OG Bloodline.
I do believe we're getting another version of the Bloodline Civil War. But now that we're at commercial break, we don't have to talk wrestling at this moment. I wanted to bring up a situation that happened with me today that I totally felt your pain on.
Okay.
Do you remember the other day when we were talking about the cost of laundry machines in our buildings?
Yep.
And how much it cost you?
Yep.
So the laundry machines in my unit today were being serviced, and I needed to do laundry so I can have clean clothes for the show tomorrow.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck, I got to go across the street. I have a gift card that was given to me from one of my workers on the laundromat that's across the street from me, right beside Food Basics. So I go there, and I noticed a very big discrepancy between washer and dryer prices there. $8 for the washer.
Wow.
Yeah. $1 for the dryer. Yeah.
Wow. Now those better be like preloaded washers with all of the soap and that preloaded.
Sadly, they weren't. I had to bring my own soap over.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah. It's lucky that I had $30 on that card that was given to me.
Right? Well, thankfully, yesterday was payday, and if I didn't have so much going on tomorrow, I'd be refilling my laundry card and doing laundry tomorrow night, but I'm leaving that for Sunday.
Yeah, and that's why I thank God July is coming up, because now I have the money that I can throw $50 on my apartment card for that, and right. I don't have to worry probably for the rest of the year as far as putting money on my card, because it's only me in my unit right now.
Right.
So it's like every 2 weeks I go and do laundry, you know?
Right.
So one thing I'm noticing in the crowd tonight is I'm seeing quite a few fans with the NXT UK championship.
That actually does make sense.
Yeah. It's actually a nice belt.
It is.
Got a promo package right now for Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. And you know what I said about getting the Shayna Baszler on NXT that we need on the main roster? I'm seeing that in this promo package. All we don't need Zoe Stark talking because she's not exactly the best at it. No. Shayna can do it though.
But it's, again, Zoe's got to work on it. So the fact that she's getting this little bit of time, I'm good with.
Mm-hmm. Right now, we've got Michin in the ring. She's about to take on Nia Jax tonight after their confrontation from last week.
Right.
And we got Tiffany Stratton at ringside because, again, what she had to say to Nia last week.
Yep. Tiffany Stratton, who lost her luggage, or her luggage didn't make it to Scotland yet, that we know of.
It's a good thing that they have seamstress already there to make her outfit.
Right? Okay. Come on, Wyatt 6. Stop invading my monitor.
As we're getting a review of the confrontation between Michin and Nia Jax, this sort of confuses me now that we're seeing this, given what we've seen Michin doing on NXT. So it's kind of like she's playing babyface on SmackDown, heel on NXT.
Well, they're sort of trying to figure out where is she going to fit? What's the best transition? Are they going to bring her back into the OC fold on SmackDown? Or is she there as the alternate for Gallows and Anderson on NXT?
That's the thing I was going to point out, because like on Tuesday, right, they were seeing high-fiving each other after Michin's little success there, you know?
Yep.
Oh, Tiffany's on commentary. I thought she was just there to watch the match.
Yeah, no, Tiff's on commentary.
Oh, tomorrow night on Fox, Yankees and Red Sox, Rangers and Mariners.
Yay.
I'd actually watch the Yankees Red Sox game though if I wasn't working. And I say that only because of the history of baseball, and the history of their rivalry usually intrigues me.
Right. Sorry, I am checking social media to see who has gone to, or to see what's happening with the TNA event this evening.
Right. I will be watching that event. What's today's date? Today is the 14th. I will be watching that because I'm more than likely going to forget the results if I read them tonight. I'm actually hoping to be able to catch that event on the 28th, when I will have money to get some to try out Impact Plus. Oh. Do you remember what LA Knight said to Logan Paul about bringing SmackDown to him?
Yes.
That's coming up next. I completely forgot about that.
Yes. So they did not announce or show yet who faced Jordan Grace or who is facing Jordan Grace.
That show it's going on right now, though, right?
It is.
Sorry, remind me again. I'm having a brain fart. Which show is it? Which pay-per-view is it or event?
Against all odds. I'm going to flip over to my live events and see if it's in there.
Every time I hear the name, like the name Against All Odds for for TNA, I think of the song Against All Odds by Phil Collins.
Oh, I'm getting Trent Seven making his way to the ring.
So he's got the X Division title with Mustafa Ali then.
Yep. When I watched it last night, now I already know the results, but last night was the first time that Nick and Ryan Nemeth have ever teamed up.
Yeah, we kind of expected that to happen when Ryan was in NXT, but Nick was on the main roster.
Yep.
I thought it was going to happen at some point.
Yep. No, it was the first time they had ever teamed up, but they did lose their tag team title match tonight.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like that Clash at the Castle soccer jersey that they're showing on the bottom of the screen there. You're muted, brother.
That is gorgeous.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what I wanted to see because I did watch some of this Tetris tournament, but I missed when Logan Paul was involved because they were broadcasting this as part of the Summer Game Fest over on YouTube.
Okay.
That's all that was?
Yep.
Should have been more. I wanted a brawl.
Should have been, but why is the U.S. title just sitting in a chair by the pool? And why
Logan
didn't LA Knight make a grip play for it?
Here's the other thing. This is just me off the top of my head, but if I'm going to a major event like Logan Paul was coming home from, you bring the U.S. title with you.
Right?
So he should have been shown coming home with the belt like on his shoulder or wrapped around his bag somehow. Couldn't catch everything that Mello had to say. What was he more or less talking about?
He's going to have a qualifying match for Money in the Bank next week.
Okay.
But it's so much for everybody thinking that we were going to get LA Paul and Logan, or LA Knight and Logan Paul.
LA Paul and Logan Knight, eh?
That's right. This weekend.
Yeah, that's personally, that's what I thought was going to happen. But again, I kind of expected there should have been, I don't know, something done there.
I think they're building that for SummerSlam for Logan Paul.
Logan Paul also does good on the international pay-per-views. So, I mean, Money in the Bank could happen, you know?
Yep.
But my money is still on LA Knight taking that one.
You know what? I was on Andrade at first, but I have not been big on his booking. I have a very funny feeling, given all of the reports with how pleased WWE officials are with Braun Breaker, if he's not the winner.
This is where I would say it's too soon to win the Money in the Bank, but at the same time, when you win the Money in the Bank, you now have a year to
Exactly.
become that top dude.
Exactly.
it's not like you win the Money in the Bank and you get a title shot at like Survivor Series.
Right. They said it's basically they're going to give Braun the big push once the Netflix moves hit. Next Netflix move hits.
Yeah.
So you can have the Money in the Bank on him going into Netflix in January.
Yeah.
But I also would not be surprised to, if we don't get KO versus Cody at Money in the Bank, to see KO in that match and get that opportunity.
Mm-hmm. That's another scenario that makes sense too. Because at this point, like over on Raw, the top Canadian is Sami Zayn. He's not going to be in either one of those matches because he's the Intercontinental Champion. I mean, he still could be in the Money in the Bank, but it would make more sense for him to defend the Intercontinental title at the show.
Yep.
And that's probably going to, it could be Chad Gable again if Chad hasn't renewed his deal yet.
Chad renewed the other day.
Oh, did he?
Yes. He had announced, it was announced like just before Raw that his deal had been renewed. Or it was either Monday or Tuesday that he renewed.
So, because see, I kind of want Otis to finish off their thing, so that might lead to Otis and Chad instead. A lot of
moving parts.
A lot of moving parts, yeah. Okay, so how about this for Money in the Bank? If you don't have Bronson, say you don't put Braun Breaker in the ladder match, him and Sammy for the IC title would be a good go-to option.
Yep. The other one I would like to see. Oh, I just had him on the tip of my tongue for Money in the Bank.
Because as I'm looking at the Fanatics Fest and the crew that's there, Jey Uso is another guy who I'd be fine with winning the Money in the Bank as well.
I would too. But I think if you're going to look to that potential second Bloodline Civil War, I don't think that's going to be needed.
Right,
I know
but
we suggested.
I feel like if they do that Bloodline Civil War thing, that ends in War Games. I feel like.
I think War Games starts it. I think War Games starts it and it ends at Mania.
Oh, at first I was going to say, okay, who do we got coming to the ring? It's Alba Fire and Isla Dawn.
But again, Raw Superstars doing an interview on SmackDown. I know they're involved in Clash at the Castle, and I know they're Scottish.
That's the reason. It's the Scottish thing. They need to get the crowd popping and the crowd boiling. Because if you look at all the top matches, you got the women's tag titles, Bayley and Piper Niven, and Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre, all featuring Scottish people in the match.
Yep. I know one of us in the group had suggested the idea of Finn Balor winning Money in the Bank. What about Dom to win Money in the Bank?
The amount of heat that dude could get carrying the Money in the Bank and teasing everybody for cashing it in right there. It'd be just like, I was going to say it would be just like when Edge won the Money in the Bank, but the thing is, Edge didn't tease at all.
No.
When he was cashing it in.
But Miz did.
Yep.
Dolph did.
But the beauty with Edge is that Edge had Lita at his side and became a heat magnet because of the whole Matt Hardy situation.
Yeah.
If that didn't happen, I think we do see Edge teasing cashing that Money in the Bank every so often.
Yeah. And I was okay with Damian Priest teasing occasionally the way he did, because he didn't go out of his way to.
Right, but every week he still reminded you guys, hey, I'm the Money in the Bank holder, even if he was just coming out and holding up the contract, you know?
Yep.
Judgment Day barred from ringside. This is going to be straight up one-on-one between Drew and Priest. So looking forward to this show.
Right.
But as I said, I might have to miss at least part of it and then come home and watch the rest of it. So before tonight's over, I've got to set my PVR up to record it, so I don't have to wait.
That is going to be my plan tomorrow as well. However, I know the girlfriend wants to spend some time together tomorrow night after the Stag and Doe, and I'm great with that. So I've still got to wait and see.
Just put yourself in a position where you can see the TV. That's all I'll say.
Well, that's easy. I can lay in bed and watch that.
But I believe this is the first time we're seeing Solo do a solo match in a very long time.
Yes, because Nick Aldis barred Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa from ringside.
Yeah, but most of the time that we've seen Solo in action, it's been mostly like tag team matches or something like that lately.
Yes. I flipped over just before Solo started coming down, and they're still doing Mustafa Ali versus Trent Seven.
KO's got a Scotland 316 shirt on.
Nice.
Scotland 316. I just ate some haggis.
Oh, and apparently WWE is looking to bring back a classic pay-per-view come October to celebrate 20 years of a certain structure.
$20 of a certain structure. What structure came in 2004? You're gonna have to enlighten me because I can't think.
It is 15 feet high. It has a roof on it, so there is no escape. And, well, if I say That's gotta be Kane. That should tell you.
20 years, though? That match was in 97. That's 27 years.
That's what the article I read today was. 20 years of Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. That match was in 97. But I was thinking about, because now that we're talking about anniversaries and things and how, to me, it would make sense now thinking about Randy Orton taking on Cody for the title at SummerSlam, because that would mark 20 years since Randy Orton beat Chris Benoit for the World Heavyweight title.
Right.
At SummerSlam.
So, and I'm just reading this now because in September, WWE have canceled 2 house shows planned for the 14th and 15th.
Yeah, I read about that cancellation.
But with no PLEs scheduled, so you've got nothing for September or October right now in terms of PLE.
Well, September is usually Payback now. Plus, we got
no premium live events have been announced for the period between August 31st, Bash in Berlin, and the November 2nd Crown Jewel.
Okay.
That leaves you September, October completely PLE free.
That's also roughly around the time the move to Netflix is going to be happening.
January is the move to Netflix, I believe.
For the US, though.
Yeah. No, US is staying on USA until January.
Oh. So they must have corrected that then, because there was a period that was thought that was going to be like WWE lists, you know?
Yep.
But something tells me with those house show cancellations, something must have came up, and there is a PLE that's probably going to happen on that weekend.
Yeah.
Which I suspect, because as I said before, September is now WWE Payback. That's the follow. That's the new backlash for SummerSlam, you know? In October was typically Hell in a Cell, and I know that they were looking to get rid of Hell in a Cell. At one point,
and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Because
I think I'm going to say this, like, if I'm looking at all of those, I think the Money in the Bank needs to move back to WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hell in a Cell needs to go back to SummerSlam, but if you're going to reintroduce Bad Blood, then you do it there.
Well, I was going to say Hell in a Cell just needs to be a match that happens whenever a rivalry becomes too heated.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm fine with Money in the Bank still being its own PLE.
I've always said it needs to go back to WrestleMania. Granted, I'm also one that thinks that WWE needs to cut down on the number of PLEs a year.
Yeah, I'm fine with the 1 a month pay PLEs. 1 a month, I'm okay with.
Yeah, but I mean, we're still.
Not this, what was it, in 2012, I want to say? They had like 16 pay-per-views.
Well, and I mean, now if you look, you're getting... This year, I'm okay. I'd rather see them cut back down to the big 6. And then every month that you don't have one of the big 6, you run an NXT PLE.
The one thing I do miss, though, when it comes to these PLEs, is back in 2002 with the initial draft, when we saw brand specific pay-per-views.
Yes and no. I understand exactly where you're coming from, but now I don't think you need it.
Yeah,
Because
and this is
then you were
but,
hitting
yeah.
one every 2 weeks. Raw's got this one. Oh, SmackDown next week.
No. It was like on like say tomorrow was a Raw pay-per-view. July becomes a SmackDown pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. But where they really missed the mark on during that time, in my personal opinion, was okay, SmackDown's got a pay-per-view coming up. Raw should do a special event. Like a special Raw, you know what I mean?
Yeah and no, but I mean, again, at the same point, that's oversaturating. I mean, I'd rather have seen something like the return of Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. In the 80s, for those who don't know, Saturday Night Main Event was basically a free pay-per-view on months that didn't have pay-per-views. And there were times where we did get a Saturday Night's Main Event on the same like month as like a SummerSlam. We'd get that a couple of times.
Yep. You would actually typically get it, I think, like the night before too, just to accommodate some extra matches.
Yeah. And it was one of the few times where they would preempt Saturday Night Live because the WWE was just dominating in the ratings on NBC.
Yes.
Because that's where Saturday Night Live, or that's where Saturday Night's Main Event aired.
And I'm going to tell you this, one of my favorite matches of all time aired on Saturday night's main event.
Which was?
Shawn Michaels versus the British Bulldog for the Intercontinental Championship.
That was a great match. That was a fantastic match. Trying to remember what my favorite Saturday Night's Main Event match was. I'm going really old school with this one.
Okay.
1986 steel cage match. Paul Orndorff and Hulk Hogan. That was a great cage match. It was a great cage match. The controversial ending when they both escaped the cage at the same time.
Right.
Which led to them having the match at the big event at the CNE place in Toronto.
Yep.
If I could pick a recent one, though, I'm also going to pick another one that I really enjoyed. It also involved the Intercontinental title. And not a lot of people actually would remember this one. Actually, two matches from that same show, actually, that I really liked. But Roddy Piper defending the Intercontinental title against the Mountie. That was it was a fun match. It was like, there was a bit of comedic elements to it.
Right.
And I told the Mountie this too, that was one of my favorite matches. And he actually said that working Roddy was just fantastic.
Oh, I would imagine.
But later that night, Jake the Snake Roberts versus the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah.
The match where the Undertaker turned babyface. The match where Undertaker turned babyface.
Yep.
For the first time. After the match, though, because Jake was getting ready to attack Miss Elizabeth, but Taker came up and stopped him. But let's not dwell on the past. Let's dwell on what we got right now. We've got a hell of a match between Solo Sikoa and Kevin Owens, refereed by the legendary Charles Robinson.
Yes, and you've also got the OMD locker room visit.
Oh, geez. This late into the show. Oh, geez. And we're off to commercial break anyways.
Oh, that feels so much better.
At least you went to the washroom during the commercial break, which
Yep.
is where I'm now going to take off to right quick too,
All
because
right.
I'm also super thirsty, and it's, as you know, it's been kind of a warm day up here.
Yes, it has.
I'll be right back.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, don't mind me. I'm flipping back and forth checking the TNAP event tonight because I'm looking to see what's happening more with this crossover. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm not missing anything I want to catch. Big announcements, blockbuster situations. And as I've come back to the action, I've got Solo and KO battling on the top rope. Solo was going for a superplex, and KO just knocked him off.
All right.
The Wyatt Six are invading my monitor again.
We got a thumbs up here. Just give me 1 second.
We have another run-in.
That we do. How's it going, Bubba?
What's going on, gentlemen? Thought I would come in and just join the chaos that is the Smackdown. Holy jumping Jehoshaphat.
Yeah, I'm screwing up things here right now, so don't mind me.
Quit touching shit.
Is there
we
a
go.
night that we don't
There
mess
we
up
go.
something, Chris?
Not this week.
Oh, Jesus. I'm a little bit behind you, OMD, so just to give you a heads
Yeah,
up.
OMDR and I are on par right now with everything on the show.
Yep.
Yeah. If I had an actual cable box instead of said Fire Stick, it would probably be on par with you guys as well. But I am also watching via the sports network.
Yes,
I
as
do
am I.
love KO's shirt. Scotland
Right.
316 with the skull at the Scottish flag. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's my boy representing.
Repping Austin and Scotland.
Yeah.
Because they're in Scotland for tonight's show. So
Yeah, no,
Yes.
I know. I was watching a thing with Triple H doing, I don't know what he was, like a press conference with the crowd kind of thing.
Yep. That was the kickoff show.
Well, I call that more the hype show kind of thing, you know.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice move. Paul Heyman. But again, European crowd proving why they are the best crowd in WWE.
They
Dude.
showed a decibel meter earlier for the crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh yeah, they had to do that because of what France did.
Yep.
And we just got the finish there.
Okay, well, I'm about to get it.
I'm not there yet. KO just got tossed back into the ring.
Yeah.
Okay, I just got the finish.
Oh, I'm assuming that's the finish right there. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Okay.
And we've still got,
sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say we've still got 5 minutes, but hey, the guys, they came in after the bell.
Yeah. Oh.
But now they're pushing each other off.
Oh, wow.
What are they? They're on the same team. Like, chill out, boys. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, and a little bit more foreshadowing like we got last week.
I did not expect what I'm seeing on my screen right now.
Oh, whose music is, I can't hear it, right? So
you hear the voices.
Okay. Well, it's his tag team partner. He's not going to let this shit go down.
No.
Right?
But KO hasn't been seen since Backlash.
This is true. Yes.
Or I mean, Randy Orton. Kevin Owens has been on.
I knew who you meant. I understand. Oh, yeah, some vintage Orton. Oh, yeah, I love it. I hate to say this, but I did do that move one time in tribute to Randy Orton.
Which one? The draping DDT?
Yes. Oh, nice RKO. That was beautiful.
Yeah. They're going to show it again. That was beautifully executed.
Yep.
Of course they are. Why would they not? I would be upset if they did not.
And I got to tell you, Solo is good at taking stunners, by the way.
He is.
Is he? I've never seen him take one, to be honest.
We got Bulkster saying, hello, Bubba.
What's going on, Bulkster?
Okay, here's
well, he doesn't
RKO
look too
again.
happy to see. Yeah, here we go. It's just coming in right now. Oh, that was a good stunner. Okay, I missed that because I was talking to you guys.
Yeah. Like he took it the way a stunner should be taken. He didn't oversell it like The Rock usually does. He didn't flop over the body like Vince does.
Right.
Yeah, you can't do that to Randy Orton. Like, I mean, you gave your boy time to get out of the ring. I'll give you that. Yeah. But you can't come up behind Orton and expect to not get RKO'd.
Right.
I mean, again, I've been following Randy Orton since day one, like used to gentlemen have. And some of the moves that he pulls that RKO out of.
Yeah.
Like, where, how? There's been like 4 or 5 I questioned, like, how did you spin your body to do that?
I've been in the crowd for 2 of those RKO out of nowheres. 4 if you want to count the 2 house shows I went to, but 2 of them on PLE. And the one where he RKOs Benoit, that came out of nowhere when he won the title.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, because like Benoit had him. Benoit was getting him into the crippler crossface, and then fucking Randy hits him.
It's like, how?
Right.
And then in 06 at Unforgiven, Carlito was going for that. It was like an Osai moonsault type thing he was going for, and Randy Orton just catches him with an RKO off that one.
Yeah. So, like, he's done a lot. Go ahead. Sorry.
As SmackDown has come to an end, and just before we get to the socials, I flip back over to TNA Against All Odds. And I've got a rather interesting tag team match because this was not something that I had even heard of any build towards, and that is the team of the ABC versus Josh Alexander and Eric Young.
I want Eric Young back in WWE. I really do.
Well, maybe now we can get it if we get this crossover.
That's another thing I was thinking about. Do we see a reuniting of Sanity somehow?
That would be That would be
Interesting.
pretty intense.
Yeah. But overall,
That would be
Bubba, did you actually get to watch the whole show, or were you just coming in late on this show or not?
I was out. I had a date with the little lady, meeting her mom and dad for her mom's birthday, so I missed everything but this bout.
Okay.
Right.
So in your because usually when we end the show, we give our thoughts on the show. So my question to you is, what did you think of the main event?
I wish I would have caught the entire show, to be honest, but that being the main event,
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with KO. And Solo is coming very much into his own as the tribal chief. So I want to see what he's doing with the tribe and what he's doing as far as being the leader. So now that, and this fight was like 100%, I was into it. I wanted more, but again,
It was
don't
a good.
give us. Yeah, they weren't giving. They give us that little nugget of. Are these guys not fighting on the pay-per-view tomorrow?
No, that's why they had the match tonight.
Okay, well, this makes me want to watch the pay-per-view regardless.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because now I'm like, ooh, what's going to happen next?
Yep.
And I'm not a SmackDown guy, as you both know. I do my own thing on a Friday night usually.
Right.
And this makes me want to watch more SmackDown, knowing that these two guys are on that show.
Oh, that's right. I mean, that's the whole point why OMD and I decided to do the Smackdown Security Detail. Because him and I would come in here and just chat offline, but have SmackDown on, and we're like, they're doing some good stuff on SmackDown. We gotta cover this.
You're right. Nobody covers SmackDown because they're like, well, whatever, it's SmackDown. Nobody cares. But you know what?
Yeah.
A lot happens on SmackDown.
But the funny thing was that for a good 2 years, you could see SmackDown as the A show above Raw.
It was.
And then it was literally SmackDown, NXT, Raw.
It was. Raw was garbage for a long time.
Now
everything's on par.
So now this is main event that I'm seeing here. Is this still in the same?
No, they
record main event before Raw.
Yeah, sometimes they'll do it before Raw, or they'll do it before the previous week's SmackDown.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So this is all pre-recorded somewhere else, not in Scotland.
Yeah.
So you'll see a difference in the crowd. Okay, I didn't know that. So
it could be that next week's episode of main event is from Scotland, and we got Road Dogg on the announce team here. OMD, for the little bits that you got to catch the show because you came in, he had to do a run in 45 minutes into the show. So what did you think of what you saw of the show?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, there were segments that, fell flat for me. Obviously, as I called them earlier, LA Paul and Logan Knight, that just sort of fell flat.
Yeah, that was a weird one. That was a weird segment.
Sorry, go ahead.
But
he's marking really out at Bronson Reed about to take on Akira Tozawa.
The hour that I saw, really for the most part, was good, and I will, I'll catch the first hour at 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going right now. I'm like, I'm just going to leave this on right here. It's on the same channel, correct?
Yeah,
they just re-show it on Sportsnet. So what I'm probably going to do, I'm not going to lie, is I'm going to leave it here and I'm going to turn my Xbox on, set an alarm on my phone when it hits 11 o'clock. I'll go back over and catch the first half of, the entire show basically for me.
Right. Yeah.
And watch that because I can't wait.
And that's not to mention, I also got a very important phone call from a little troublemaker.
The wee lad.
Yeah. So you gotta watch the Cody promo. That's one of the things I'm going to recommend that the both of you guys do. Okay. There was a lot of emotion in that promo between AJ and Cody. But one of my favorite segments, it was kind of a sleeper segment, but I did enjoy Grayson Waller, the Grayson Waller Effect with DIY, solely because of the fact that when it came down to Gargano's time to talk on the mic, he brought up his past with Austin Theory and the way.
Oh, nice.
Nice. I'm
That's
going to say
close.
this, where I tuned in, and it was probably, you know, an area where I caught Chris off guard when I announced it, because I came in the Apollo Crews Santos Escobar intros.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was searching for the QR code.
So
Because
there's
we got-
a very surprising face turn at
Yeah.
the start of that match. I
One
will
that
not say anymore.
one that I did not expect.
Wow. Okay.
Ah,
So I'm setting an alarm for 11 o'clock then.
yeah.
But going back to what was I saying now? Oh, Johnny Gargano bringing up Austin Theory and their history with the way. I thought that was really cool. He also planted the seeds of doubt in Gargano or in Austin Theory because of what Grayson Waller has been doing.
Right.
Okay. So a little mind games, which I've never disliked. I like that kind of thing where they're playing little mind games.
Yeah.
Brings
Right.
me back to old WWF kind of stuff when they would mess, like when Jake the Snake had to wrestle Macho Man. He was playing mind games the whole time. Even when he wrestled The Undertaker, he played mind games with The Undertaker, the
Yep.
Ultimate
Dude.
Warrior.
Dude.
I love that thing. I love that.
Legit before you came on, OMD and I were talking about Macho Man and Jake the Snake feuding.
No
Yep.
way. For real. Well,
Yeah.
there's Jake right there, boys.
We were talking about our favorite Saturday night's main event matches, and I mentioned that one of mine was the blow-off match between Jake the Snake and Macho Man, and it was the one where the Undertaker actually turned babyface during that match.
Yes. It was the very few matches I've seen Undertaker actually be the baby face.
Yeah. But on that note, gentlemen, I think it's time we get those socials out. Why don't we start it off with you, Bubba?
Yeah, not a problem, man. You can catch me on YouTube's, and it's at Bubba OMD, capitals on the OMND. And then you can catch me over on Twitch, Boar's Nest with Bubba Duke. We're gonna have to change that to with Bubba Duke and OMD.
Yes. And you can
Pretty
catch
soon.
me on both of those channels as well for the Boar's Nest.
Yes,
and you can catch me on Bubba OMD
Any lags.
the YouTube.
This is the best time for you to lag, man. That's awesome. But what Chris is trying to say is catch him on Wednesday nights on the YouTube Bubba OMD because he's lagging out there right now. He does our PlayStation side of the gaming where OMD and I do Xbox.
Aren't I?
Yep.
Very badly, sir. I got you. It's okay.
That was a rough leg. That was a rough one.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, you can catch me also on the Bubba OMD YouTube channel as well with the PlayStation Showcase.
Yes.
All right. OMD, how about you, my friend?
The people can find me on the Book of Faces, Daniel Harisic, HRYCYK. On Snapchat, One Man Dynamic, capitals on OM&D. On Twitch at OMD17 if I'm actually on there. And on Discord at OMD6370. Visually, every Monday on the Boar's Nest on Bubba OMD with the Raw Preview Review Show. And then right over here to Turnbuckle Studios for the Raw Patrol with Chris Best, Bubba Duke, Carl Carafel, and Chris Parrish. Tuesdays with Chris Best and Carl Carafel on Turnbuckle Talk. Wednesdays with Chris Best, where I co-host the PlayStation Showcase. Thursday on the Boar's Nest with Bubba Duke. Fridays right here on the Smackdown Security Detail and whatever other shenanigans we choose to get into.
Which we're probably going to do again.
Yeah.
And it's time to see. As I'm watching, Jordan Grace is in the ring.
Oof, that's my girl. That's what channel is that on?
I'm just gonna whore out my socials before OMD
Yeah,
spoils it.
let's get into that.
All right, so you can find me youtube.com at CBRS Entertainment, twitch.tv CBRS_entertainment, threads.net at CBestFilms83, facebook.com Chris.best83, tiktok.com CBRS.entertainment. You can look for me on a pre-recorded taping of Saturday Night Gaming tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Further Adventures of Uncharted 4. You can look for me Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, as we do the Raw Patrol alongside Bubba Duke, OMD, Chris Parrish, and Carl Carafel. Tuesdays, you can find me 8:05 p.m. Eastern, and I'm pretty sure we already listed out our news stories for the week today. OMD. Because there's a lot of stuff coming up, a lot of wrestling stories coming out this week that need to be covered. Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern for alongside OMD, where we do the PlayStation Showcase. Still haven't decided which game. I've been looking into which game. We've got a list of like 18 games to look at that were released for the PS Plus this past week. So trying to figure out which one's going to work. Yeah.
Start at the top, work your way down.
Oh, we can't start at the top because the top is Monster Hunter, and that's a game that has to have its own series. Thursdays, I'm actually not doing a show, but Fridays, you can catch me 7 p.m. Eastern with the latest episode of the WWE 2K24 My Rise, and followed by the Smackdown Security Detail alongside OMD and sometimes Bubba Duke, sometimes the Bulkster, whoever wants to join in.
You're right.
Has my voice cracked there. And I'd like to thank everyone for coming in. Have yourself a wonderful evening. We out.
I'll be there when you're down, when you're losing your crown, till the afterglow, the afterglow. Fading away, you look so great when you gotta shine. One more part of you's gone now, as you keep smiling at the crowd. Pressure is your best enemy, spotlights show what I wanna see. Sometimes it feels like you're under attack, you just can't break free. I'll be there when you're down, when you're losing your crown, till the afterglow, the afterglow. I'll be there when you fall, when you're losing it all, in the afterglow, in the afterglow. Whoa! It all started with the passion, it all sounded like a dream. Remember how you kept on laughing